Hello, my creative friends. We are officially in autumn. The wind is blowing outside. If you hear little bell chimes, I can't stop them. They're doing their thing. Welcome to the Video for the Process podcast. I'm your host, Emily Jeffords, and it's a really big honor to be with you in this space today because today we're talking about something extremely practical. We are not doing fluff, not that we ever really do, but we're not doing fluff today. We're getting right into the most important topic we could probably talk about as we kind of are at that crux between the summer play and productivity and creativity and the holiday sales push. Today, we're going to begin the conversation on selling your work during economic uncertainty. I have 7 tips for you total. We're going to get into the first 3 today. Okay, let's go. Before we get into this, which I am bursting at the seams quite literally, so let's get into it. The collective is open for enrollment, which happens a couple times a year. This is the most affordable thing that I offer. It's also the richest and fullest thing that I offer. We all know about making artwork. It is a world-renowned signature course at this point for a reason. It is incredibly beautiful and incredibly impactful. It will change your whole business in less than 3 months. It's magic. The collective is the space that I use to support that same energy. You don't have to be an alumni of Making Artwork to be in the collective. You can just join right now. But it's that gentle nurturing. It's that space that says, we know this career is unconventional. We know that you have been told that artists can't make money, that this is not a viable career path, that you better go find a rich spouse. You better find someone to take care of you because you can't sell enough work to actually make it. We know these lies exist. And they are lies, okay? They are lies. Even in economic markets, kind of like this one, where we're kind of like, what's happening? What's going on out there? Yes, even through those markets, the creatives in the collective are doing it. They're sustaining themselves. They are nurturing their creativity and their businesses. And like I said, this is the most affordable space that I can imagine pouring this much. It's almost like Netflix at this point. There's different topics and different genres and different focuses that you can dive into based on your needs right now. And then from there are lessons and videos and trainings that you can tap into. It's delicious, truly. And I would say in uncertain economic times like this one, a resource like the collective becomes even more necessary and valuable. So join. The doors are open for almost the whole month of October, so join us. I can't wait to see you in there. Okay, let's get into 7 tips for selling your creative work during economic uncertainty. Just like last week, this goodness is coming out of the really, really beautiful book that I created, and it's completely free. Go download it below. The book is called Creative Stability. Yeah, I can say my own words. Creative Stability, and it talks about how to sell your work during any season, both the calendar year and also internal season, and during any economic market, because things are always changing around us. Things are always ebbing and flowing, rising and falling, booming and crashing. And we have to be that stable source of our own creativity, our own inspiration, our own output, our own magic. We've got this. So today we're going to be extremely practical, okay? I keep clapping my fingers. Do you hear that? I'm like, extremely practical 7 ways that you can sell your work, especially as we tip into the holiday season. But these last year round. These are year-round bits of wisdom for you. So keep them in the back of your mind. Tap back into them as you need to because they're gold. Okay, number 1, position your work as accessible luxury and a lasting investment. I think a lot of artists kind of teeter the line between either making their work not luxurious at all and like this little thing that they did and you don't have to pay attention to it, it's fine, just don't even look at it. And then also the other end of that teeter-totter is This thing is so luxurious that you can't access it. You have to go through some gatekeeping gallery, and the price point is out of reach. Don't even look at it. You're going to be sticker shocked, and you're going to faint, and you're going to feel ashamed and whatever. We know these two polars, right? We know these two sides of the spectrum. We are not going to be on either side of that spectrum, okay? Okay. If you want to sell your work, if you want to be an artist in a gallery whose work doesn't sell, then you can go that route. And I'm not saying that galleries are not a good place to sell your work. Please do not mishear me. Do not mishear me. There are galleries that I am like googly eyes over, and they're doing exceptional work, like exceptionally good at their job. You know what I mean, though, when there's a space where you walk in and you get the cold shoulder upon entry, and it feels like you have to go through some kind of initiation process to even get to, like, not the vibe, okay? Not the vibe. Again, if you want to sell your work to, I would say, like, regular people, the other side of the spectrum, you don't show your work. If you do show your work, it is diminished and you're embarrassed of it, and you don't even like take your own work seriously enough to make it known in the world. Okay, so with that in mind, where are we falling on this spectrum? While buyers become more selective during economic uncertainty, again, we talked in the last episode about what does it mean to be in like a soft market, an economic uncertain time. They become more selective during economic uncertainty. They often crave luxury, because when luxury begins to feel like that thing that's just out of reach, you want it more. And if your finances, or not even like your personal finances, but the world at large feels a little bit uncertain and like, should you buy that high end thing? Oh, I don't know. The people that are buying art, okay? They're still doing it. But they do want to buy things that feel like that accessible luxury. And when I say people, I'm talking about look at your prospective buyer and use a lot of empathy when coming to terms with what they might be feeling or struggling with or reckoning with right now. So for my buyer, I can speak from my perspective. I sell to a upper middle class collector. I don't sell to that really 0.1% collective. That's not my buyer. And I know that, and I'm very okay with that. Let me tell you, I'm very okay. That being said, if a celebrity wants to buy my art, I'm okay with that too. But I love that my buyers are people that have homes that look and feel similar to my home, and they have lives that look and feel kind of similar to my life. That feels really special to me. So because I know that my buyers want to buy art and handmade goods that occupy that sweet spot. They're accessible, but they also feel like an indulgence. They offer value, but they also feel like they're attainable. Okay, so practical example of how you can actually do this. I recommend highlighting the permanence and the emotional return on the investment, which I know sounds like really nice textbook speech, but quite practically point out that the money that they spend on a beautiful original is so well spent, that they're honoring their emotions, they're honoring their homes, they're honoring their desire for whatever emotions you capture in your work. For me, that would be like peace, serenity, belonging, adventure, expansion. Like those core emotions are being honored in their home, which is, I think, a need, but it's also a luxury. So you can do things like that. You can also very clearly point this out by saying things like, this handcrafted ceramic mug will start every morning with beauty for decades. Like, these things are permanent. These are luxury items, and a luxury item by nature shouldn't really be disposable. It's not fast fashion. It's not something that you can quickly be like, okay, bye, thank you. A luxury item is precious, and I don't know about you, but that's exactly where I want my purchases to sit. I want my buyers across really any category to sit in that space of what I'm buying is precious, because you pour so much of yourself into your creative work. You pour so much of your passion and your thoughts and who you are at your core into this work. That is so precious. That is a luxury item, and it's also attainable, and it's readily available to them. And here's how they can purchase it, and here's how they can access it, and here's how they can enjoy it. One thing that I did, I think rather well in my last collection release, which was just a little while ago, is I made the viewing experience kind of like walking into my own version of an art gallery or of a solo show. And anyone that accessed the website, I wanted them to walk away feeling like they had a luxury experience, whether they bought something or not. If they bought it, beautiful. I love that. But even if they just walked, quote unquote, walked into the room and experienced it that way, I wanted them to walk away feeling like that was a luxury experience in and of itself. And I think it worked. I think it worked. Okay, number 2. This is incredibly important. I've said this so many times in the collective. I will say this at the Making Art Work in Person event. I will say this on this podcast. I'm saying it right now. Okay, number 2, offer multiple price points and payment options. This is so important. Having tiered pricing, which I even talked about in the last episode a little bit. Having tiered pricing helps everything that you offer become more valuable. This is a little bit of a psychological twist. This is also a really, really practical way to diversify your business. If you only sell one thing in one price point, you are missing out on probably at least 50% more sales that you could be having, if not more. Okay? So really pay attention to this. This is incredibly important. Your business needs, capital needs, multiple price points in order to grow and to thrive, especially during any kind of economic uncertainty, and especially while you're reaching a wide audience. And I don't mean that you have to reach millions. I mean, if you're reaching 10 people, they have 10 different relationships to money. They have 10 different economic situations. They have 10 different budgets. So this is important, okay? Diversify your product range to accommodate the different budget levels, the different desires, the different needs of your current audience. If you typically sell things that are around that $200 range, consider offering something for $50 or $25, considering offering something else for $1,000. And even if you don't sell the high price point thing, just having it there elevates everything else. By turn, also having that lower price offer elevates everything else. Do you see? It's again like kind of like psychological, like placement. We like to have things that are placed in a certain way. So offering a variety of price points is good across the board for every single situation. The only caveat I'll say is, well, actually 2 caveats. Okay, number 1, if you're selling the thing that you're creating right now and you're selling it so well and there's really no need for you to diversify, then don't. Okay, you can add that in later. I still stand by the need to diversify and to offer multiple price points, but if you are at your max right now and you can't quite keep up with your orders and you're selling that one price point thing and it's just really flying off the shelves, then you're good for now. Keep that in mind for later, but you're good for now, okay? The second thing is, layer these different price points in really gently. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin. We'll talk about this inside of Making Art Work a lot. Do not stretch yourself too thin. And then also, don't confuse your audience. So we're avoiding burnout. We're also avoiding confusion. So layer these things in organically as you feel that natural inclination towards excitement. We always want to follow that. That's always gold. Mostly always gold. And you also don't want to confuse your audience. So don't do things that feel really out of pocket. Don't do things that feel like, wait, I thought you were doing this and now wait, what are you doing? I can't follow along. I'm out of here. Okay. The second part of this, not only offering multiple price points, but also offering multiple payment options. This one's genuinely so cute. Every now and then I step back and I'm like, humans are so cute. We are so silly and so sweet. But The reason that I say this is so cute is because people get really accustomed to their way of moving money and they don't want to do a different way. There was a while there where I wanted to do everything on PayPal. I don't know why. I just felt comfortable and cozy there. It made sense to my brain, so I wanted to do PayPal, and that's fine. People feel comfortable logging in certain ways. They feel comfortable moving money in certain ways. They just have their ways of wanting to pay for things. You want to accept their way of wanting to pay for things, okay? So if you're at an in-person event, make sure that you do Venmo. You have some kind of Cash App or Zelle. You can take a credit card. You can take an envelope of cash, like whatever it may be. Make sure that you have methods of payment that are comfortable for your buyer. For an online sale, make sure you do PayPal. Make sure you accept credit cards, and go through the process. Make sure that it's easy for your buyer. If you're using Squarespace or something similar, they make this really easy for you. If you're using a different platform, just make sure that it's easy to actually buy your work online. A lot of times when I do a brand audit or a website audit for an artist, like in the collective or in making artwork, this is often something that I give some feedback on of like, hey, it's actually not easy to go through your checkout. And if I were your buyer, I might not complete the process because it's not feeling intuitive. I don't feel like it's secure or whatever the case may be. So go through the process yourself, make sure that it's easy, and then make sure that you're offering multiple ways of making a payment. And back to this accessible luxury piece, one way that you can consider making a luxury item accessible is to offer payment plans. This could be manual. You could say, email me for payment plans, and you can set up something on, via email on the back end, or you could do something like Afterpay or another like payment processing service like that. Consider that. You don't have to do that by any means, but digital payment platforms make it really easy to manage payments. Don't make this part hard for your buyer, okay? It's not worth it. Okay, let's move on to much more fun topics. Topic number 3. Again, we're in 7 tips for selling your creative work during economic uncertainty. Tip number 3 is to focus on gifting and special occasions. This is so much fun, especially during the autumn season when we're tipping into the holidays. People might be cutting back on personal purchases, but they often want to maintain their spending on gifts. So oftentimes they might be cutting back a little bit, like maybe the dollar amount goes down a tiny bit. Instead of 100, maybe it's 75 per gift or whatever. But they still want to maintain that connection and that gift giving, like I love you, I see you. That's so important, even in economic uncertainty, and I would say even especially during these times. And again, we're not in like a crashed market. Don't hear me like I'm not here trying to fearmonger or like doom anybody. No. But I am aware that we're all a little bit more sensitive right now. We're all a little bit more aware right now. So during times like this, gift giving remains incredibly special. Things like birthdays, obviously holidays, anniversaries, milestones. So what I recommend doing during this season, again, we're kind of tucking ourselves in the autumn season for this conversation, is take all of the products that you might sell during this season and other seasons and just position them as gifts. They already are. They're beautiful gifts. If you sell original paintings like I do, then my original paintings are now the best gift, which genuinely, that is the best gift in my opinion. So whatever you currently already sell, bundle it up and put a bow on it and say, this is now a gift. I've even done this for making artwork. People gave a spot in making artwork to their loved ones for the holidays, which is incredibly generous. And wow, what an empowering gift to give somebody. Ooh, gives me chills. So really whatever you create, it can be bundled up and turned into a gift. You can create gift sets and bundles. You can offer wrapping. You can develop seasonal collections. But really it can be as simple as bundling things up and tying it up with a bow metaphorically and saying, this is now a gift. What I've noticed, a little aside, this is not in the workbook, this is just me talking to you because it came to my mind. What I've noticed is when I begin marketing my products as a gift, this is so cute. But when I begin marketing them as giftable items, guess who begins buying them for themselves? People. wait, why did I say it like that? But you know what I mean. My buyers, my collectors begin signaling in their brain, oh, it's gift buying season. Beautiful. Love that. I should totally be doing that. But I want that for me. And they buy things for themselves. And I'm not opposed to that. You should be giving yourself gifts. You should be lavishing yourself with love all year round, especially during the holiday season. But that does happen often where people are like buying something in the gift buying season. It's marketed as a gift and they're like, this is a gift for me. And I'm like, you and 50 other people go off. I love this. This is perfect. So that's always cute and makes me very happy. Okay, so quick little recap. Again, we're going to get into all 7 of these, but in this episode, we're going to cover the first 3. So the first 3 tips are: position your work as an accessible luxury item and a lasting investment. Number 2, offer multiple price points and multiple payment options. Number 3, focus on gifting and special occasions. And in the next episode, we'll get into the next 2. And in the episode after that, we'll cover the last and maybe the most important one of all, to be determined. Okay, like I said, the collective is open for enrollment. You can get so much richness. If you like this podcast episode, you're going to be obsessed with the collective because it's not just audio, it's visual, and there are workbooks, and there are guest experts that are industry rock stars. They're absolutely incredible. There are live workshops that you can attend each month. There's study sessions and book clubs. There's a really sweet community of artists that, like I said, understand what it means to be a creative entrepreneur, what it means to be kind of a lone wolf, but no longer, because now you have a community. You're no longer doing this alone. You have space to normalize this experience and to make this career feel really, really doable, like really attainable. And your goals and your dreams are no longer audacious and nearly impossible. They're suddenly like normalized, not in a mundane way. We're never saying that, but there's something about like knowing that people like you are out there that makes your dreams very, very accomplishable. And I love that for all of us. Get all the information at the link below. This is the most affordable thing that I offer. Additionally, if you really want to sit in the room with me in person and have the most luxurious and beautiful weekend ever, join me November 8th and 9th in Atlanta, Georgia. It's worth making the trip. I promise. I'm going to make this weekend absolutely incredible. I'm pouring all that I can into it. So if you'd like to save one of the last spots available, you can do so. I'll put the link below for that as well. Making Artwork live and in person, we're going to be covering everything that the course touches on, but we're going to apply it to your business. It's going to be like a cross between a mastermind meeting, a retreat, a whole course, mentorship sessions, heart-to-heart conversations, one-on-one time. It's just going to be really, really precious. So join us again November 8th and 9th in Atlanta, Georgia. Book your flight. Let's go.